Editor GJ here. Apparently past me was a bit of a numpty and did not add any trigger warnings to this episode. I swear, one of these days I'm gonna do an episode without having to do trigger warnings, but alas, here we are, so I'm gonna do it for this one. The trigger warnings for this one are for mental illness, depression, suicidal ideations, a brief discussion about war and sex work, mental breakdowns, and other heavy stuff like that. I will make jokes about these things, however, they are still very serious things. If you are listening to this and you have found yourself struggling with your mental health, yes, you who are listening, hey, you can't see me, but I'm tapping on the fourth wall here. If you have been struggling with this, please reach out to a friend, a loved one, either physically or digitally, and if possible, a trained professional to talk. Okay? The world is a big old mess right now, and we need your very unique, very specific light in this world. So please talk to someone, okay? You hear me? Cool? Cool. So let's go on to the episode. Bye.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of We Care a Normal Amount About Things. I'm your host, GJ. Since last we talked to each other, I nearly caught strep throat, only for me to actually get an ear infection. 0 out of 10 do not recommend. When last we talked, it was for the While You Were Sleeping episode, and I mentioned that one of the possible episodes that I was going to do was about depression bops. This is something I knew a lot about, and I didn't have to do that much research for, especially because I recently got inspiration for a much larger piece. I did a poll while you were sleeping, beat out depression bops for that month, but one of our patrons were really curious about my thoughts about it, so here we are. But before we go any further, it's time for us to give a shout out to our sponsors. Our sponsors are Transmissions from Smeagol, Mammoth Island, When You're Here, Your Family, or else. Chicken Boo's Costume Emporium, Myth Breeze Emporium of Lost Socks, Lil Cat's Living Doll Hospital, Dunfall Industries, and Krakenstein's Craptorium. You need crap? We got crap. And viewers like you, thank you. If you would like to be one of our patrons, be sure to join our Patreon. We're going to have a lot of works. Me and AB are still talking about merch. We're still talking about cool things we're going to do. Starting from this episode, I believe, we're going to do, or at least I'm going to do a thing where I release some of the rants that got cut. Yeah, I'm not sure if you noticed this, but we are a very rambly bunch. And usually there's about 5 minutes that's just comedy gold that we just choose to edit out because it's way too long. So if you would like to hear even more rambles, come on over. Now that we've gotten that, depression bops. Many of you might not know this, but I am a music lover. I have a pretty diverse taste in music, partially because my family is a very eclectic bunch. Formerly eclectic, now I'm pretty sure neurodivergent bunch. So we were always kind of like magpies, just picking up different things and different sounds. I listen to everything from classical music to Mongolian metal. I am honestly really fascinated by music, especially the short form storytelling side of it. How they can evoke such strong emotions within the listener and can move you to tears all within 5 minutes. As a writer, that is incredibly fascinating to me, how you can just paint a word picture that connects to so many different people despite different cultures and languages and all that. It's amazing to me. I also love darker songs because you belt out the songs completely forgetting what the songs are about while you're in that specific moment. I can't do a playlist about darker songs that I love because otherwise I'm going to be here for 3 hours. It's going to cross over to different genres in different time periods. And quite frankly, I don't have 3 hours to talk about this because I have to waste 3 hours talking about Haikyuu, which is going to happen soon. No, today we're going to focus on songs that are depressing slash are actually about depression, but are juxtaposed with these lighter, fluffier music, right? That's why I call it depression bops. Depressed in the club, as I like to call it. I'm sad, but I'm gonna dance, right? First songs that popped in my head: Bang by AJR, Ain't It Fun by Paramore. Eventually, someone brought to my attention Copacabana by Barry Manilow, which absolutely match. But the songs we're going to talk about today, we are narrowing it down to a very specific window. There's just so many songs that I could have talked about, but but the way that I trimmed it down was this one song lyric. Y'all don't want to hear me, y'all just want to dance. So first song we gotta talk about is Outkast's Hey Ya. Hey Ya is the gold standard for depression bops because I have heard this song numerous times. If you were going to ask me to sing the lyrics to Hey Ya, I'ma just do the chorus. I don't know the verses of Hey Ya. I know the beginning of the verses of Hey Ya. I know the ad libs of Hey Ya, but uh, I'm not paying attention. I'm not paying attention to Hey Ya. So, for those of you who are like me and never have honestly paid attention to the lyrics of Hey Ya, it is about our narrator is someone who was wondering whether or not he is staying in this relationship out of tradition or if he's staying because he actually wants to be with that person. And the second verse is about basically about how long-term relationships statistically are doomed to fail. And yeah, our mom and dad stayed together, but that's because of the fact that their moms and dads stayed together. Are we just here? Are we just gonna be here together even though we're not happy and we're just gonna and none of the listening public was really trying to hear that because the song is really catchy. I don't know if you're one of the few people in the world who have managed to get this far in life without listening to Hey Ya. In which case, please teach me your ways because there's some songs, some artists I'm not trying to listen to. Please teach me how to not listen to songs. But we have the clap, we have like the whole like Beatlemania thing that the song and music video was going with, how cheery the chorus and the singers are and everything. It's just a song that makes you want to dance. Andre 3000 from Outkast knew that we were not trying to listen to the actual lyrics because he literally ends the second verse with, y'all don't want to hear me, you just want to dance. And he's not wrong. He's not wrong. It took me years to find out that Hey Ya is basically an existential crisis. But in my defense, how was I supposed to pay attention? When I wrote this, I listened to the song with the idea of, hey, actually pay attention to the lyrics of Hey Ya. Absolutely didn't work. By the second verse, I was doing the ad libs and dancing in my chair. It's so good and it's so darn catchy. I'm sorry, Mr. 3000. This isn't entirely my fault. So, with that lens of Hey Ya, that gave us the guidelines of songs that we are going to be listening to. The y'all don't want to hear me, y'all just want to dance. Because whether or not the lead singer is going through something, a breakup, a breakdown, or a breakthrough, we not trying to hear them. We just want to dance. The second song on this list was actually a late addition to the list, but it absolutely deserves its spot. It is Corso by Tyler the Creator. I'm not going to get into the background of the artists on here because once again, I have to spend like 3 hours talking about Haikyuu in a couple of weeks, and I no. But just know that Tyler Creator is an artist who kind of came onto the scene with a very edge lord type of energy and very edge lord lyrics. And as he has matured and grown as an artist, he has really flourished in all aspects, really. So there's two important figures in this song. It is Tyler himself and his producer slash DJ Drama. He is a real DJ. Throughout the album that this song is on, Call Me If You Get Lost, he is kind of part balladeer, part hype man. He's just this really loud, boisterous figure. He does all of these ad libs like car noises or woo, yeah, oh, you thought you were ready for this, but you not. He always tries to get the listener hyped. There's some songs where he works fantastically and some songs where it doesn't. You kind of wonder why you hear drama, but it's okay. This song, he absolutely works in this. So she starts off the song, and then Tyler comes in rapping, and he comes in with the usual like hip hop braggadocio, right? We got some light misogyny, talking about how he doesn't need this guy to break up with his girlfriend for him to have his fun. I got money, I got swag. The first proper line of the song is, I might buy a boat. Depends if Capri got space. I don't really need one, right? Doesn't even need a boat. But I could buy a boat because I got that much money. He continues on with the song with the usual brags, good looks, fancy cars, all that cool stuff. In between verses, there's not really a chorus of the song. In between each verse, we have drama coming in. You thought you were ready, but you wasn't ready for this. My boy's about to come through. Everybody get hyped. It is not until the final verse of the song where the depression bop element comes in. He reveals that recently he fell in love with a girl who was already in a relationship, and despite his best efforts, she stayed with her partner. In just one single line, he calls himself a bad person for trying to be with her, but also wishes that she is still thinking about him because he's perfect. By the end of the third verse, he sounds close to a mental breakdown, like he's in the middle of a tailspin. The verse goes, moving, losing my grip on my doings, eyes is crying on the jet cruising, about to spend millions just to fill voids up. Drama, I need you, can you turn the noise up? And in the middle of this man having a mental breakdown, DJ Drama responds in the background with, "Yes, sir!" And then just like keeps hyping him up, or just like, go, go. Just oblivious while his homeboy is having a mental breakdown, very possibly crying in the literal club, while he's asking him, "Hey, can you turn the music up so no one can hear me cry?" And then the song ends with the line, "Remembered I was rich, so I bought me some new emotions and a new boat because I'd rather cry in the ocean." He sounds defeated and exhausted, but drama is still on his woo, ha ha stuff because he is not trying to listen to this man in the middle of his heartbreak. It's so good. Oh gosh. Speaking of people literally crying in the club, let's talk about Dancing on My Own by Robin. Admittedly, I don't actually love this song. I have a weird relationship with the song because I will defend it with my dying breath that this is a perfect pop song. I don't love it. I kind of like it, but I am fully admit that it is perfect as it is. It doesn't fully land with me. It reminds me a lot of Harry Styles as it was, in that it's a song that just works no matter emotionally where you are or how you feel. I just listen to the song with the synth line and, the drums and Robin's voice, which is so sincere. Sometimes I hear the song and I hear someone who is reclaiming her energy and her power from a toxic ex and is dancing alone in the club or in her house without a single solitary care. The next time I listen to it, I hear someone who might have been out and saw her ex partner with their new partner, only for her to realize that it doesn't hurt anymore and that she is on her way to making peace with where they are now and who they were. And then other times I listen to this song and I hear a person who is trying way too hard to prove that she's fine. I'm fine. It's fine. Why would you think otherwise? I didn't come to this club because this is the club that my ex and I used to go to. And matter of fact, I met my ex at this club and I had a feeling that they were going to show up here. And I wanted to show to everyone that I don't care. And you can be over in that corner with your new partner kissing them and you don't see me over here like not caring, but I don't care that you don't care because I'm dancing on my own. And you just know that she's going to have a mental breakdown either that night or just in the very near future, and all of her friends are just going to have to kind of gather around her and steal her phone so that she doesn't send a drunk voice message or something. And somehow that whole emotional range fits into this one song just perfectly. It catches you up in the moment of the song, and you can't help, at least I can't help but not sing along with it. There's this beautiful video of these people on a subway platform after a Robin concert, and the subway is playing Dancing on My Own. And yes, I get the irony of singing the song Dancing on My Own in a group of people. Shut up. It's really beautiful and really freeing and triumphant. Just really appreciate that this song encapsulates all those emotions almost effortlessly. It's really beautiful. And now we gotta go on to one of the two artists that inspired this whole rant. First one is Stromae. He is a Belgian singer. The first song is Papa à Toi, and the second one is Fils de Joie. I'm not French. I apologize to all the French speakers out there. Papa à Toi, I originally got this song from a book. There's a scene in the book where the two people are listening to the song and just like, oh, I didn't know you liked this song. So I listened to it, and it starts off with this really slow, dramatic piano, and then it starts adding Afro beats in this pulsing synth line during the chorus that just makes you want to like fist bump. It never stops making me want to dance. But there's a reason why the song is on the list. First off, the title Papa et Toi is French, and it means Dad, where are you? The song is our narrator, a young boy, asking where his father is. Now, the first time I heard this song, I took from the lyrics of this is a boy asking how he is supposed to navigate the world and learn how to be a man when his father is nowhere around. As someone who grew up in a single parent household and had complicated dad based emotions, I understood that feeling, and I initially heard that song as a someone with a similar experience. I didn't have to worry about learning how to be a man without my father, but it's something that I've heard other people talk about. Nope, that's not what that song is about. I did research, listeners. The song got worse. Stromae, he is African Belgian. He revealed that the song is based on his own experience because his mother hid from him his father's death until he was 12 years old. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, GJ, oh, that is sad, but that's not as bad as I thought. No, she hid his father's death from him because his father died in Sierra Leone. Yes, that's Sierra Leone. And yes, during that time period. So, this already sad song has been made even more sad knowing that he's calling out to a father, calling Dad, where are you, to a man who will not and cannot respond to him. And I cannot underestimate to you the amount of times I have listened to this song, literally jumping up and down, fist bumping to it because that chorus just hits. It slaps. I feel so terrible dancing to it. And I'm not the only person. I have seen him perform this song live at concerts, and it's tens of thousands of people jumping up and down, singing to this song, which is so sad. But oh my god, this beat though. While I was writing this, I listened to the song and like I started crying, and then I started dancing, and that's why this song is one half of the reason why you are here, because it is a depression bop. It works if you want to lay down on the ground, but it also works if you want to dance to something while you are in your feels, even in your dead dad feels, because oof. And I feel sorry for anyone who goes into Stromae not realizing like that's just his whole genre. 75% of his discography is dance tracks with really dark lyrics, because the next song on here that we're talking about is Vils de Joie, which I made the great mistake of listening to before looking at the lyrics, and yeah, it's just as bad. In my defense, it's all the songs on here are inappropriate to dance to, and yet they made us dance to it. But this one especially, it has like Brazilian funk elements and chamber music. Go check it out if you haven't heard it. But yeah, the lyrics of this song. Village de Nuit, it's French for son of joy, which is French slang for son of a sex worker. The song is written from the perspective of the son of a sex worker, proclaiming his mother as like his hero and a provider and calling out people who judge her for her work, even though we're in a world where we don't have fair wages. Each verse are people talking about her from different perspectives. So the first version is a client, the second one is her pimp, and the last verse is a cop. And all of them are condemning her for her actions, and they're exploiting her, but also justifying their actions in their lives and why like they're in a position to look down upon her. And again, the I cannot underestimate to you how much this beat slaps. It starts off with violins and then the drum hits, like the drum just slams, and then there's just like this bass line that just kind of goes like whoop. It goes, and Stromae has this voice on him, and like he's partially singing and kind of rapping, and it's so good. It's so inappropriate to dance to. He does have lighter songs, so if you do want to like listen to him and dance, that's fine. I have in my notes "Alors on danse," which is kind of like "The world sucks, but hey, let's dance." And it's kind of like the perfect song to just like put your hand in the air or put like one hand on the wall and just like awkwardly dance to it. And then there's Carmen, which is about how social media is evil. So that's you. Those are your options. It's not a song about cancer. Let's move on. Our second to last song, our penultimate song, is the second reason why we are here. It is Worries by the singer Raleigh Ritchie. Now, you very likely know this artist. This is the stage name of the actor Jacob Anderson. He's best known right now for playing Grey Worm on season 3 to 8 of Game of Thrones, which I never watched. And right now he's doing AMC's Interview with the Vampire TV show. He's Louis, which I've never watched, nor what am I going to watch. They just did the penultimate episode of season 2, and all I've seen from my brief glimpse into that fandom is screaming and wailing. So no, I'm good over here. I primarily know him only as a singer, and that's where he's gonna make me cry because he's really good. Anderson is painfully honest about his mental health and his anxiety. He once told about a very traumatic experience he had with a therapist, in which he told the therapist some pretty traumatic things that he had never told anyone in his life, and the therapist called him by the wrong name. And this was like weeks into them working together. He released his, I think this is his first full length album, Andy, during 2020. And the world was on fire, and I had already heard one song from the album. And not gonna lie, fantastic pandemic album that we got here. It's really good album. It's the perfect. Would a depressed person listen to this album? Because it has some very brutal lines. But once again, and what's the theme here? But it also makes me want to dance. That is correct. Good job, listener. Pretty sure I was able to get through the year of 2020 because of this album. It is that good. This song is part of the inspiration of this episode because it has this really fun like jazz club and energy to it. It has this really bouncy piano and hip hop elements, and so you can do all like the hip hop dances to it. You can milli rock and you can dougie to it. But the opening lines tells us immediately the vibes that we're gonna get. It starts off with "I live in my own head and I don't feel at home there." That's the tone for the rest of the song. He continues the song, and honestly, that album with that same like stark openness. Of all the songs on here, this is probably the most like anxiety based song. but also like the song that is the most honest about itself, is the most honest with the listener. It's a problem. Like the song is him, and as I stated, when I've talked about the songs, I've said narrator rather than singer because some of these songs are from people's own perspectives, and some of them are just artistic licenses and all that. No, this is him, and the song is him talking about how alienating his anxieties are and how alienating his passive ideations are because I don't want to worry anybody around me with these thoughts. Like I'm fine, it's fine. BTW, if you are someone, PSA time here. If you are someone who has these thoughts, please do share them with the people in your life who care about you because they care about you. You did not scam them into caring about you. They care about you because you are an awesome little chicken nugget. You are not a burden. Please reach out to the people who love and care about you because they want you to be around for as long as possible. This is for your people you have in your real life as well as internet friends. Reach out to someone either physically or digitally. Shout out to the digital buddies, to the pocket buddies, and talk to someone about this. Thank you. But yeah, the song is you know gets pretty dark. It's really awkward because to dance to it because it's so, like I said, it's very jazzy. It's very jaunty with the jazzy horns and the piano, and I want to dance to it. And the chorus is really simple, like kind of like Hey Ya, but instead of the happy cheery lyrics being Hey Ya, it's I just didn't want to worry you. Didn't want to worry you. I just didn't want to worry you. Didn't want to worry you. And it goes and it works. There's a moment where it gets really real, and then the last 45 seconds there's a key change, and the string instruments come in, which makes it even more epic and more hype. And I am a terrible person for dancing to it. Like I said, this is my would a depressed person listen to this album, and the album is full of songs like this. The whole album is really good. 8 out of 10. Not every song is exactly like this, but a good chunk of it is. And now for our last song. This is that another non-English song. This song is a late addition to the list. I was going to originally end it after Worries, but I added this song to the list because of all the songs I have talked about. This is one I have seen live. This is Crooked by Korean singer G Dragon. G Dragon is best known as the leader and one of the rappers in the legendary K-pop boy group Big Bang. I am not going to blather on about Big Bang because I will be here for 3 hours. And like I said, I have to spend 3 hours talking about Haikyuu. I don't have the time for that. But if I was going to talk about Big Bang, imagine Spice Girls, but instead of Posh Spice, it was Rihanna. And that would almost describe how influential both the group and G Dragon himself are to the Korean music industries, and dare I say, modern Korean pop culture. I'm not even joking. It is that wild. We are still feeling the influence of this man's. He hasn't made music in like 5 years. He's still influencing the culture so much. He's a professional now. So G Dragon, or GD as I'm gonna call him in this. GD has always played around with duality and public perception versus the inner person. It's very interesting and fascinating to analyze his work sometimes. This one might be my favorite of his work. This is off of his second album, Coup d'etat. Crooked is this pop punk energy, sign of the devil horns while you stick out your tongue, type of deal. And it makes me want to headbang and jump until I am dizzy and I don't have any more energy. It has a very poppy step line at the beginning that gives you just enough time to kind of like stop and think about, am I gonna immediately jump out of my chair and start yelling the lyrics, or am I gonna skip it? Nope, too late. He started singing This Is the Moment That We're In. He has a really good voice for this because he's always kind of plays around with like a nasally slash, I can't describe it any other way, kind of like snarly. It's a song that makes you feel kind of carefree and weightless and young. Me, AB, and our other sister had the immense honor of seeing the group Big Bang perform live on their May tour in 2015. He had a solo stage, and this was the song that he did. It was a really great concert. It was a great night. We had floor seats, singing along to it with, thousands of other fans who are now your best friends because we're all locked into this moment before. Just, like I said, weightless and carefree. And it's really unfortunate that I did not know the lyrics to Crooked before we were there because, ooh, buddy, this song. I didn't know the lyrics that well. I got the gist from the music video, which is him in like London, I think, kind of, being on the town and getting in the fights and wearing a Union Jack shirt and being a menace and yeah, I'm a rock star. But I did not get the full image of it until I looked up the lyrics. This is the chorus, which is also how the song opens, and it goes, "Nothing lasts forever. In the end, you changed. There is no reason, no sincerity. Take away such a thing as love. Tonight, I will be crooked." Which is also, I will show my true skin. I will show my true colors. I will be as, imperfect and broken as I could be. I'm not gonna lie, as a Big Bang fan, I've never seen G Dragon wear nihilism this well. GD has absolutely played around like a playful nihilism of just like, hey, the world is on fire, let's grab marshmallows. That's not Crooked at all. The song is aloof and furious. It is the dangerous, you know what, I don't care anymore, that kind of creeps around right when you're about to hit rock bottom. It's similar to Robin's Dancing on My Own, except for one very important point, which is we absolutely know that he's going to have a mental breakdown after this. Robin is kind of a question. This one, no. No, he's going to have a breakdown and it's going to be rough. Hopefully we're done singing along with the song and jamming out to it and the other songs on the depressing playlist to actually, pay attention and take care of him after once he finally has that breakdown. Maybe it depends on what other bops we have on this playlist. And that's it. Now, granted, I have a whole playlist of songs that I could have talked about. I actually talked about way more songs that I was supposed to in this playlist. But these are the ones that I wanted to talk about because they have perspectives to it that you might not have caught your first listen to, or you might not have even heard these songs to begin with. So I hope you had fun. Thanks for listening. Once again, this has been an episode of We Care a Normal Amount About Things podcast. Thanks again to our patrons. If you would like to be a patron, be sure to go onto our Patreon at We Care a Normal Amount About Things. We also have a Twitter account at We Care Podcast. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, listen to the playlist, add any other songs on the Depression Bops playlist that you think I should know about or listen to. And I hope you enjoyed. Bye!